Welcome back, everybody. My name is Lucas, and this is my journey through Lambda School. This is day 3, Wednesday, of the second week of Lambda School. So today we went over pre-processing, basically using less as our styling system. So not a lot to go over today. I'll talk about less, some of the project that we did, and the other project that I had mentioned in my previous videos. I started working on that today, and I'll show you how god-awful that looks like. Let's get into it. Alright everybody, I'm throwing myself into the bottom right corner this time just to mix things up a bit. But today was a pretty simple day. We worked on pre-processing, and we specifically are using less, as you can see, as our preprocessor. Thankfully, I had been able to get it implemented yesterday before our project today, so it wasn't terrible to deal with. And honestly, less is actually more intuitive than I had imagined. The 3 basic principles, which I'll get into here in a second, are mix-ins, variables, and nesting. That was the last one, nesting. Whoops, almost forgot it. But it was pretty straightforward. I'm on a Mac, obviously, so I already had Homebrew, had Node, had Yarn, basically just used Yarn to download and install less, and then also install a less watch compiler that basically refreshes and compiles less every time we saved it. So, like I said, the 3 big things were nesting, mix-ins, and then variables with less. And if you've never seen less before, you can come here to lesscss.org for the documentation as well. There's also this cool little site on less CSS examples that you can take from other projects that I thought was actually really, really intuitive. Things related to like rounding corners and flex boxes, for instance, little things that you can use variables and mix-ins really easily for. But overall, not a too terrible lot. This will be probably this is one of the only resources that we used for less today, but our projects were pretty straightforward. So I'll show you the project for today. Let's see if I can pull up the other one. So today we were going to build a digital resume, pretty straightforward. This was the template. I actually didn't get in. We were supposed to create our own template or style however we wanted to. This was just an example that we could have used. I basically just copied this verbatim because I spent most of my time working on something else. But this straightforward was actually a really good way to kind of utilize less for the mix-ins, the nesting, the media queries, and variables. So I built this basically identical with my face, so we'll see that here. Obviously, I am not UI UX oriented on this one. This was mostly getting responsiveness to work, getting the styles to work appropriately. And so I'll show you this. This is not what I would use in production. However, this is something that we did and we worked on. So as you can see here, the actual font sizes change, and then I had some transitions happening between the widths that were happening here. And so you can also see here that the font size is actually shrunk with the size of the screen, which again is just using this relative sizing. I'm gonna have to figure out a reverse sizing because I would actually like these things to get bigger as I get smaller as opposed to shrinking entirely. But nonetheless, it was, and you saw obviously the stacking that was there. So nothing crazy on this project. I'll show you the code here. So yeah, this is the pre-processing example. Let me get myself out of the way. You can see this here on, mix in there, variable there, and then obviously the nesting going on there. So the only other thing that I wanted to show you guys was the other project that I had started on, not that one. So, I had talked to you guys about the allthefreestock.com, and I probably have showed it to you before. Long story short, I wanted to create a clone of this for jobs. And so that's what I've started doing. This is really, really ugly, but it works. So if I hit remote OK, it actually pulls up remote OK site. I pull up monday.com or monday.vc. It actually pulls up the monday.vc site. My internet's a little slow, but this works. So candidly, I spent a little less than 2 hours doing this, and it's using less. It's using relative sizing on my fonts. I've reset my CSS, or normalized it actually. I used HTML5, a template builder I used a HTML5 boilerplate that I'll include in the description as well. But I'm going to use this project now as kind of I will build it as I go and as I learn things. So, as an example, this was the actual project that I was imagining building, but is already built. So this is actually another good resource, hunter.co. It is ground control for your job search. So basically helps you search for jobs, helps you keep track of them, make sure that you can, stay on top of all of that. Even has some contact discovery. I have not gotten into it yet. I will definitely do it because, I'm here to get recruited. So I'll be using that for sure. But in the meantime, look forward to seeing how this comes along. Trust me, this is going to get prettier. This is just a placeholder for right now. I was working on more of the functionality. So it was just a little bit of jQuery, some styling in CSS. I was able to get this working exactly how I wanted to. So this is on my GitHub. This is live. You can go check this out if you want to. But that is kind of the progress for today. So nothing terribly crazy today. The future will just be another day of development. Tomorrow will be preprocessors 2, and we'll see how that goes. With that, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers to y'all.